right there. That's the killer. Little handheld blower. So here's what we got today, and this is kind of a, first and foremost, we are running, it's going to be a 30-minute burner podcast, and that's how we run it. So we're going to cut right to the chase and get this party started. Let's get the clock going to get this official, the official garage gym clock at that. And let's get this party started in 10 seconds, guys.
All right.
And welcome to the Garage Gym Specialist Podcast, Episode 1 with guys? Coach Dubs.
All right.
So, Coach Dubs, we have you in today, and obviously you're a coach and you coach a number of different athletes at all different levels. Give us some name drops. Give us an idea of some of the athletes at the different levels.
I work with a few different people, and I've worked with a few people that are very well known in the powerlifting community and the strength community. I've worked with plenty of people who are, just your everyday people who just go to work and just want to do powerlifting for a hobby. Some names are, I've worked with James Strickland on his preparation for Boss of Bosses and a few other meets. Cody Blazek's my client. He won the Tribute in the US Open. He came second place overall. I also work with a few others that Logan Chapman is another name who's big. He's got a 2,200 plus total. I also work closely with Robert Hall, World Breaker Savage. There's many others, but even people, like I said, are just everyday people. It doesn't matter your skill level or what you're actually into. If you just want to be strong, we can do that too. It doesn't matter your goal or your level of experience. We can make it happen.
Well, the cool thing is, and it's definitely, I follow a lot of these guys. I'm a big fan of a lot of these guys, and these guys are unbelievable athletes. But not all of them live in Houston.
Nope.
And the cool thing is that you're coaching these high-level athletes at different states and even different countries farther away. And that's kind of the beauty of where we're at today with technology.
Yeah, it's allowed us to do a lot more.
Absolutely. So now you could take someone in a garage gym setting and you could actually coach them at a high level to be competitive, just like the names you just dropped.
Yep.
So, the beauty, there's a blessing and curse with technology, and what I mean by that is, technology's made us really, really lazy. And that's been a part of the process, and it's obvious why it happens, but in doing so, we tend to overlook a lot of our health and fitness.
Yeah. Things become way too easy, and it's all about convenience nowadays rather than working for something or the old-fashioned way.
100%. So that's where the garage gym came into play, and that's the beauty of this. Now, thinking that the commercial gyms will ever go away, I don't ever think that'll be the case.
No.
But to be able to train, in a garage gym with a coach like yourself, I think is just awesome. And there's a lot of advantages that you can take. There's a lot of opportunity you can take advantage of by doing so.
Yeah.
Now, when you leave that commercial gym, one of the things you walk away from first and foremost is the atmosphere.
Yeah, you definitely in a commercial gym, you got the atmosphere, you have more people around, you have the eyes on you, you got that environment, preset for working out and fitness. It's kind of what everybody thinks that working out's all about. But nowadays, it doesn't matter as long as you got the equipment or you got the necessity to build strength. It can be anywhere. It doesn't have to be a commercial gym. You can get the same environment in your own garage.
So with that being said, like when I come to train up at Dubs, it's electric. You feel the energy when you walk in the door. You look around, you got hammers all around, hitting solid numbers. I mean, it's crazy. And that energy almost transfers to you.
Yep.
But you don't have the luxury of that in a garage gym. So what are some of the things you can do to overcome and put yourself in the right mindset or to be at that level of energy to attack that, that heavy set of pulls you got or that heavy set of bench or whatever the case may be?
The big thing is if you want to have that similar environment in your own garage, you need to kind of create or set up an area in your garage or your garage, the whole garage in general, to be just that. You got to make it something that kind of gets you in the mood to work out. When you walk into, you're like, okay, yeah, this gets me pumped up. I'm amped up. If you walk into an area, your garage gym or workout area, and it doesn't really, it's kind of more of a messy or it's an inconvenience or it's a cramped area, that's not going to really get you amped up to work out. So you definitely got to make your environment kind of fit how you want it to be. Make it kind of give off that energy as you get at another gym. Also the music, play some loud music, or put up some motivational posters or banners and stuff like that. Paint the walls, give it some flooring. There's a lot of things you can do to kind of give it the environment you want. But definitely the music and having the right equipment can definitely make all the big difference.
So create that vibe almost yourself. So what motivates you? We can get up. I mean, I'm a big sports fan. Obviously, I got my Texans. So, I'm a proud American. US of A will always be up. So no, I see what you're saying. So
all
there's
stuff to motivate you.
So really create the environment that's going to allow you to thrive at that high level to obviously hit those high sets. So you heard it, guys. These are things you can consider. Get that motivational poster, put it up on the wall. We all know, the Schwarzenegger with the conquer on stage. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. That fires me up every time I think about that one as well. So awesome. Now, another challenge that we lose when we don't have that commercial gym, when we come into the garage, is limitation to equipment.
That's
and that may be limited by space. That obviously can be limited by budget. There's a number of reasons why we have limited equipment. So what, as an athlete, what are some of the things you can overcome with a limitation on equipment?
Obviously, depending on what you're doing, you're always going to need certain things, but if you're just looking for someone that needs an area to work out, it's all about getting the necessities you need at first, and getting enough stuff that's going to allow you to do a full workout, or to get the workouts done you need. A lot of times, if you can't really get any of the equipment you need, you're going to have to modify a lot of things. You're going to have to design workouts that are going to just fit what you got, whether that be maybe a kettlebell or a jump rope. Who knows what you got? You just got to make it work and adapt the best you can.
So let's talk like powerlifting, for example. Okay. That's kind of your specialty. Obviously, you covered many facets of training. Powerlifting, for example. So I want to get on the Dubs barbell training program, garage gym powerlifting program.
Cool.
What are the foundational pieces that I would need in that? How would that look?
If you were going to want to do a Dubs barbell program, you would definitely need a set of weights, barbell. Didn't have to be anything special. It could be just your standard barbell. Maybe a set of dumbbells. You can get the power blocks. Those are always good because they can go up pretty heavy and they don't take up a lot of space. It'd definitely be good to have some resistance bands and a power rack. Even if it's a half rack or a full cage, it doesn't matter. But as long as you've got a barbell and some weights and bands, that you can do a full program with just that.
So essentially, obviously the big lifts in the cage and pulling off the ground, and then you'd hit a lot of the accessory work with dumbbells, and then obviously using the barbell as well.
And even if you don't have dumbbells and you just are able to have barbell, and even if you don't have a rack, trying to find something to allow you to get the barbell set up is going to be best. There's lots of ways you can even make your own rack if you can't afford one. They have safe ways to do it. But like I said, even if you just have plates and a barbell and some bands, you can do everything you need. You don't have to have dumbbells or kettlebells. So
essentially you get the main stuff, and then the rest of the stuff is going to be more of a luxury to a certain degree. Obviously, the more you have, the more you can work with.
Right.
Well, and also, I think a big challenge is trying to understand what movements the coach is insinuating and why. So, a good relationship with the coach and the athlete is imperative to understand, why does he have me pull in, this set of 10 in a row, or tempo, or whatever the case may be. So, understanding your athlete, and more so the athlete understanding their programming has a lot of value to allow you guys to get creative to overcome, certain limited equipment challenges you may have.
Yeah, some of you may be on a program and have access to an actual gym, so you're able to do more things. And there may be a day come up where you're only able to do the workout in your garage, and you don't have all the stuff that you need for accessory work. You can always modify exercises to use with bands, or as long as you're, say you have to do a movement that involves your triceps, but you don't have a cable machine. You just have some bands. So instead of doing cable press downs, you can do banded press downs. You don't have a heavy enough band to get the stimulus you want, you can do more reps. You have to just learn ways to modify the workouts in case you don't have all the equipment. Because there are going to be times when you're on a program, or you're prepping for a meet, or you're doing something that you need to hit these workouts and be strict with everything. There's going to be times where you won't have something. You're going to have to learn to modify regardless. So knowing what to do to get the stimulus that you're going for is good, is key.
Well, and plus, we're garage gymmers, and we are known to get creative.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I got a couple ice chests in here, and obviously I store them in here, but they tend to come to use quite a bit.
I'm sure.
I.e. seal rows. We get pretty creative in here.
Yeah.
Step ups, box ups, you name it. We've done it. So garage gymmers, that we'll find this as a challenge more than anything, and we're definitely always up for a challenge.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of stuff you can look up on a DIY website, and there'll be good methods to build equipment you need, and a lot of it's really good, and stuff can be built for very cheap. So that's always something you can look into if you're on a budget and don't have a lot of funds to get the actual stuff you want.
Absolutely, and the secondary market's huge on this stuff too.
Used equipment's big. Look up Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. Call around to fitness companies. They might have old used equipment.
100%.
You can find diamonds in the rough all the time. And me as a gym owner, I find used equipment to be the most valuable because it's cheap and it works the best.
And on the flip side, you're selling a beautiful set of equipment right now that's used at Unbelievable. Or we got a reverse hyper.
Yes, I got a reverse hyper.
So the point is, guys, is that look on that secondary market. Get out there, use that technology. The same way you're watching this is the same way you can find diamonds in the rough, and I see it happen all the time.
Yes.
And definitely, put the effort out there, and you'll reap the rewards.
You just got to hunt for it.
So, next subject I want to cover, and this is something that's near and dear to me, and something that will soon be near and dear to you, is the garage gym dad. Yep. Congratulations!
On the way.
We have a little boy coming.
Yeah.
May I say big boy?
Yeah, he's gonna be big. Poor boy. He's I got a son on the way. November 2nd is his due date. But he might come a little early, so I'm hoping October 31st. Halloween baby, it's super dope. But his name is Oakley Lincoln Dubs, and I'm gonna call him Link. That'll be his name. I'm pretty much gonna go with. I named him after the character from The Matrix, or some people have been saying from the movie Encino Man. But I'm excited for my little man to come. So it's definitely gonna make my training a little bit different at times. I mean, for myself, I own a gym, so I can kind of come and go as I please, but there are going to be times where I'm going to have to stay home with him, and I'm not going to be able to get to the gym to work out. And so I am going to have to go in my garage and make the best of what I got. And I don't have all the equipment that I'm going to need to do some of my workouts. So a lot of times I am modifying, or I'm just making up a workout entirely new and doing something different.
Well, it's going to be a life-changing experience, and I'm super excited for you guys, and I'm super pumped. But with that, as selfish as it may seem, us living the fit life, whether it's our business or our own personal, personal goals to be really tied into fitness, is that the concern when the new one comes is that time and availability and sleep as a whole.
A lot of factors change.
It does, and some of the things as a garage gymmer and as a dad, it's almost one pivots off the other.
Yeah.
And one of the main reasons I have a garage gym as a dad is that I'm able to spend more time with them here. And then you get to parlay the fact that you have eyes on you as you're doing this stuff, so they're picking up all the habits.
Yes, and when kids are, I don't know the exact age range, but from when they're born to a certain age, they're in like a trance state. So everything they see and do, that's why they're constantly looking all over the place, they're soaking in everything. They're just taking it all in. So when they're out here watching you work out, they're soaking in everything you're doing.
100%. And guess what? When they're in there taking a nap, you can come out and sneak in a set and get what you have to. And that's what it comes down to, guys, is that, you make time. And the reality is that, if fitness is important to you, you make time in the limited time that you have to get it in. Is it going to be at the level that you were doing before? No. But at the same time, you'll be dealing with a lot of different situations. But the convenience of being able to have this is huge. When they're in there napping, boom, do it. Mine are old enough now, they come out and play, and you see marker all over the floor, all over the wall, everything else. That wasn't me, guys. But at the same time, the beauty of it is that they get to experience this, and this becomes a part of the routine that they see. Just like they see us brushing our teeth, they see us go through these motions, and they start to question, what are they doing? And then they start to mimic, and it's really, really cool.
They're very interested.
And it's really fun. And the cool thing is that, you being a gym owner as well, that kid's gonna eat, sleep, and breathe the gym.
Yep. And that's something too, like me and my wife both talk about, we're not gonna force a gym down our kid's throat, or we're gonna force anything else down his throat, but we definitely feel he's going to be a big part of the gym, and he's going to want the gym to be a big part of his life. And you know, we just want him to love fitness and just love being healthy is mainly what we want, regardless of what route he takes.
For sure, and just to touch on Kat a little bit, I mean, she is a phenomenal athlete, competed at a high level for a long time, and then also a very specialized therapist.
Yes.
That does a lot, and you know, I'm really excited for you guys, and it's super cool, you know, that you guys are about to go through this experience. But you know, fitness is a huge part of both y'all's lives.
Yes.
And it's almost like, you know, guilt by association, but at the same time, I love that, you know, you're not going to push it down. You're just going to expose them to the things and then let them, you know, kind of take the course as they go.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we're definitely we're going to encourage our kid to try things and to experience life and believe in what he wants to believe in. And if he wants to be a part of certain sports, do it, man. Whatever makes you happy. We just want him to at least be active and be adventurous. Maybe he doesn't get into working out. Maybe he doesn't like the gym at all, but he loves to do other things. Cool, man. Whatever you're into.
You mean like tattoos?
Hey, if he likes tattoos, cool. Whatever you want, man.
Absolutely.
Just make it tasteful.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about your shirt.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah. Overcome
Apparel. So, you know, there is a much deeper meaning to obviously overcome, and you know, let's kind of, you know, talk about, you know, the meaning of it and you know, where it came from and where it's about, what it's about essentially.
Overcome is Overcome Apparel. It's our clothing line that me and my friend Andrew started together. It's something he'd always had an idea of, and I've always had the idea for a very long time. Overcome's been something very special to me. It's tattooed on my forearm. I got this about, I believe, 10 years ago, and it has to do with everything I've gone through in my life. I've put myself in a lot of very bad situations, and I've had a lot of negative outcomes in my life. I've spent 3.5 years total in prison, and you know, I spent 1.5 years addicted to opiates and heroin, just going down a very negative path. And I've able to overcome those and get past those and actually make something of myself. And so that's pretty much where the overcome came from, is no matter what you're stuck in or what situation you're in, no matter how bad it is, you can overcome it, get through it. You just gotta buckle down and push on. Nothing can defeat you as long as you can believe in yourself and overcome it.
And I love it. I think, you know, a big part of that is you took ownership of some bad decisions that you made in the past, and you paid the price for them.
And nobody else's fault but my own.
And you were able to overcome it and own it. And, you know, I know through this process, and I kind of caught you at the tail end of that, of that process. But how did you use fitness kind of through this to both mentally and physically, I guess? Because I saw you kind of, you know, lean on fitness to a certain degree to overcome certain challenges, and I guess kind of tell the audience a little bit how, you know, how fitness played a pivotal role in you overcoming these challenges that you dealt with.
You know, working out was always kind of my, you know, it was my go-to, my escape. It was what I was so passionate about. It's what I loved. It was like my drug. I got a high from it, a natural high from doing it. It's what people feel when
it's scientific.
Run in. It's scientific. Yeah. So it was always a part of my life, and my first weight room coach was my weights teacher in high school, and just the way he taught me and how cool he made fitness and I thought he was awesome. He was just someone I looked up to. So that kind of planted a seed, and I knew like fitness was something very, very important to me, because I went through a lot of trouble as I grew up as a kid, and I always looked for avenues to explore that kind of was my escape. I was big into music and I was big into fitness. So those were my things that I did. And then, you know, when I was in prison, I didn't really get a workout, and it kind of made me crazy at first because you had no access to anything. So I was doing a lot of push-ups and air squats and just anything I could. Again, modifying, doing the best making the best of what I had.
Well, no, I remember hearing this in a different podcast, but I think fitness, you going into prison at the size that you were, helped you kind of get through your time there. When you went in, how big were you?
Let's see. So when I first went in, I believe I weighed about like 260 something, maybe around 260, 270 range.
Just yoked.
Yeah, and I was big. It was unusual for them to see, especially because a lot of times guys come in, they were all skinny and average.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was definitely big and nobody messed with me or bothered me.
Even though you're the nicest guy out there. Yeah. What do you have, like 6 cats and like 4 dogs? Oh yeah. You never understand, but that's why I think the irony in it. But to a certain level, that allowed you to, it allowed you to come in and kind of establish yourself without having to really establish yourself.
The biggest thing was just being respectful. You were cool with everybody and you weren't in there on a sexual offense, you're good.
Yeah.
So I mind my own business and I was already big, so that kind of intrigued some people and people were nice to me and respectful. And then, someone that was actually kind of important on the prison yard ended up wanting me to be his personal trainer. So I ended up training people.
And stuff. Talking about eat, sleeping, and breathing the fitness lifestyle. I love it. But there again, because of the way you look, they obviously assumed or knew that you had an idea of how to build and everything else. So now you're running. So Dubs Barbell started.
Dubs Barbell started. It's funny. Dubs Barbell actually started before I went to prison. But I actually continued to run it while I was in prison.
No, holy smokes.
So I trained a couple guys while I was in there, and they paid me in food or store. And
talk about getting creative. You thought the garage gym was a challenge. That's a whole other challenge to come up with equipment.
We didn't have any workout equipment at the first facility I was at. Then the second one I was at, that one had a workout stations. They were just a couple cable machines mounted to the ground. That was it, nothing major. And then finally, the last place I was at, they had an actual yard, and that's when I was able to do some other workout stuff and things that kept me sane while I was there, but I could never actually do the workouts I wanted to do. And then once I got to my final facility, they had the full weight pile, whatever you needed, you got it.
Chomping at the bit.
But you had to lock down your time. Everybody's trying to get to it, so you got to kind of fight for your time. I was lucky enough to lock down like the 4:30 to 5:45 slot.
Oh, so you had a
perfect. Right before dinner time, I was out there. Nobody messed with my weight pile. My crew only got to work out at that time.
So you were training them while you were getting yours in.
Everybody had their crew. If you had that time slot, that's your crew. If you allow them to work out, then they can. And I'm cool, man. So everybody's working out.
For sure. And I bet you had the most yoked crew out of all of them.
I did have a good group of guys. And everybody worked. And I'm still talking to a lot today. There's still ones that call me. So
fitness,
fitness became a big part of it.
It helped you establish, obviously, yourself coming in. You actually start training people, which I think is fantastic because a lot of these guys, they're coming off of different addictions, things like that. Man. So to be able to turn to something like fitness and help them, with them emotionally and physically is huge.
And it does make a big difference to them because some of those guys were so depressed. It didn't matter what facility you were at. They were sad. They were miserable. And once they started working out, they started feeling way better about themselves. Absolutely. And they wanted to be about working out. They weren't thinking about going back to the street and hustling or doing this or that. They're like, man, I want to get out. I want to start doing this, or I want to hit up this gym or that. Or like,
be a trainer.
A lot of them say that. So many say that they want to be a trainer, and I know a few of them actually got out and did.
Oh, I love it.
So I mean, it's really cool, and fitness can change everybody's lives no matter what point they're at.
Well, and what it
helped me with a lot.
With fitness, I think it's embedded in us, and the reality is that it's something along the lines of, our physical day-to-day activity required us to be fit, running, chasing, climbing, whatever the case may be, and we would go through different planes of motion, and we would lift different objects and use different muscles, and not have all these, big, heeled shoes and things like that. So it forced us through day-to-day activity to be fit. Yep. Now, fast forward to 2019, and here we sit, and we have all the technology, and we have all the stuff that we need, and we have the abundance of food, which is a big, big factor in this day and age.
Food is a major factor.
So it's essential that we supplement our fitness some way, somehow, some form of fashion. It's essential us as human beings, we have to. And when you take the simple factor out, I think it gives you a lot of the anxiety, depression, a lot of the challenges that we're faced with. And with fitness today, I see I've seen you use it as a business. I see you use it personally. Where do you think fitness is going?
It's funny. It's funny you say that. Like, I see this all on social media a lot. I look at the comments, people talking about all kinds of things, but some are saying social media is going in a bad direction because it's getting people to kind of like they're just focusing on all the wrong things, or whatever. It's taking fitness and all this stuff in the wrong direction. It's making people have the wrong impression about fitness, I guess. But then in another light, it's actually helping so many more people. Social
motivating,
motivating, and doing all this.
Well, putting free content.
Man, it is helping so many more people get fit and active. It's like you don't need to have a coach. Not everybody needs one. You can go find all kinds of stuff on the internet for free nowadays. And a lot of times you got to sift through. There's some bullshit out there. Or someone's claiming that they're the best or whatever. But no, everything works and everything has a purpose. So it's just you got to kind of find some things.
Well, and I think it comes down to that and being self-motivated. At the end of the day, the internet is huge. The internet is a good resource and can be used as a great tool for finding different types of content, finding workouts, diets, etc.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, why do gyms exist? And why are there trainers out there? Is that people still need that direction.
Need it.
And what I'm getting at is that you're quick to invest in a lot of things that won't get you much, but maybe a little satisfaction. Tangible.
Temporary.
Just instant gratification for a slight bit, and that's it. And the reality is that investing in your fitness, physically, emotionally, and financially, I think is an essential part of is a big part that people miss.
And you're right. And that's like people are always looking for instant gratification. They're looking for the quick fix. We hear it everywhere. We've seen it everywhere. And still today, even people seeing it, knowing that the quick fix doesn't work, they're still looking for it. And that's a big problem with a lot of things.
And the reality
today.
is that the result's going to be the same result.
The result is always
the same result you got last time on the quick fix. I can guarantee is going to be your same result the next 5 times you do the quick fix.
And that's the one big problem with the fitness industry is because people can say whatever the hell they want to say and promote whatever they want to promote and make people believe certain things that aren't even actually going to help them. And that's the quick fix stuff. And then you got, when it comes down to your health, if you actually want to invest in your health and change and get the results you want, not trying to get a quick fix, you're going to have to invest in many things with your health. It's a whole lifestyle change, but you're making it for the benefit. It's not something miserable. You're making the right changes that are going to benefit you in the long run. Getting healthy and getting in shape is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight. You can get in good shape quickly, but you got to be dedicated and be doing things to a T.
Invest in stuff that's going to have impact on you on a regular basis. So the food that you put in your body is going to have direct impact on. Buy the better groceries. Invest in a coach that has the knowledge, that eats, sleeps, and breathes, and lives this lifestyle. Because the reality is that a lot of the mistakes people are making are mistakes that you made 10, 15 years ago, or many of the clients that you deal with. So, there's a lot of value in investing in a coach with the knowledge and the direction. And what I love about it, we can send videos back, you can critique, you can form, there's apps that we can put in different, there's so many good resources out there for us to utilize. It's so much easier to work remote. Today than ever.
From anywhere, and that's like he's saying, the good thing. Getting a coach or a trainer remotely, it doesn't always have to be expensive. There's plenty of quality people out there that can help you. I'm very affordable as well to provide you with things needed to get to your goals. People ask me why I look the way I look, and this is because this is my life. Fitness is my life, and what I do every day. I'm not obsessed with it, but it's just a big part of everyday living for me and my family.
You've heard it, guys. This has been a pleasure for the first. We're cutting into about 30 seconds left. It has been a pleasure having Coach Dubs on for episode 1 of The Garage Gym Specialist. What we take away is that you can train at a high level in the garage gym. Invest in yourself, invest in your fitness, invest in a coach, invest in the equipment, invest in the right groceries and the right fuel. So there's no secret sauce and there's no magic bullet out there. It's just a consistent effort.
Consistency is king.
Put yourself in a position to succeed. Coach, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys stay tuned.
See you guys.